What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video today. I want to talk a little bit about somebody that the Colts might go get. Now, we've talked just recently over the last couple days when we talked about the depth chart, when we talked about Anthony Gould. The Colts have 6 receivers right now that they could take in week to week and that I'd feel comfortable with. So, with that in mind, there's something that was brought to my attention, a conversation that somebody else brought up to me, and I thought it was interesting, and I started thinking about it, and I thought, hey, if we were able to pull this off, we'd have one of the most dangerous offenses in the league. So let's talk about the possibility of trading for Deebo Samuel. Okay, and yeah, that might sound crazy. Oh man, that might sound crazy. Okay, we talked about a couple days ago. The Colts have $28 million in cap space. Colts have not done anything with all that, right? Are they just going to save that? Some people think Chris Ballard is going to save that. If you look traditionally, Chris Ballard usually, will keep. Sometimes he'll keep, $8 to $10 million. Chris Ballard, not a stranger for keeping $8 to $10 million, just kind of freely to be able to do something with. But he usually spends a lot of the cap. People don't talk about that, but he usually spends a lot of the cap. Now that also has to do with the fact that he paid, 25 million Jacoby Brissett, 25 million Philip Rivers, so on and so forth with all the different quarterbacks. But nonetheless, he does spend most of the cap most of the time. So when you look at it, that's what makes me think, right? He's trying to go get a safety and go get somebody else. I don't know what he could possibly be doing beyond trying to get a safety and have more money. But with the restructure of DeForest Buckner's contract and opening up so much money, then what are we going to do? What's the possibilities? Hey, maybe you trade for Deebo Samuel. You look at his contract, he's set to make $20.97 million this year. That's his base salary is $20.972 million. And when you look at his cap number is $28.633 million. So the cap number is going to take up everything else that the Colts have. This would be a move that, like, this is it. You get Deebo Samuel and, like, basically your roster is set, right? You sign the rookies, do what you have to do there. You at this point, if this is a move you make this year, you have to restructure somebody to push some money into the future. Maybe it's you push some money into 2025 from Deebo's contract, restructure it to push a little bit of money forward. Because when you look at 2025, the base salary is $16.6 million, still a lot of money. Cap hit 24.2 million, still a lot of money. So a lot of money for 2024, a lot of money for 2025, but the money does go down just a little bit in 2025, and then 2026, 2027 are voided years. But there is a dead cap hit in 2026, right? If he ends up, not getting extended, then he ends up with an $8.457 million dead cap hit in 2026. Now, at that point, the Colts, from a standpoint of Anthony Richardson's next contract, they'll be able to afford that. But that'll be right around the time where Anthony Richardson's going to want to get extended, and they're probably going to pick up his 5th-year option, so that'll carry it another season, right? And then Anthony Richardson, after his 5th-year option season, he'll start to make crazy money. But for the purposes of this, the contract that Deebo Samuel has, we can make it work, or at least from a fan's perspective, right? Sitting here looking at it, you can fit it in, right? If you restructure somebody else, or you restructure trade form and restructure his just enough to squeeze it in, so that you can sign the rookies and get everything done that you need to get done and have him on the team. Maybe that's something that you go do. And this is what I'm thinking, right? You got to start thinking, if you're going to do this, like, and you can make the money work, what are you giving up? What assets are you giving up for Deebo Samuel? Well, here's what I'm thinking. We just drafted A.D. Mitchell, right? A.D. Mitchell presumably supposed to be number 2 at some point behind Michael Pittman Jr. So if you're going to start phasing out Alec Pierce, then why not just phase out Alec Pierce entirely? Alec Pierce, throw him into a trade. For Deebo Samuel, you're probably still going to have to give up probably Well, I guess with his price tag, you're probably not giving up a first round pick. The way trades are nowadays, and with the way things work with the money, maybe you're only giving up. You can throw in Alec Pierce, and you throw in a 3 for 2025 and a 6 for 2026, right? Maybe that's a deal that could get Deebo Samuel. You see so many guys making so much money that go for so little. Why? Because teams want to get rid of the money. So if they want to get rid of Deebo Samuel and they want to keep Brandon Ayuk so that they can sign Brandon Ayuk, right? San Francisco, that situation's in flux. That's why this conversation comes up, because their conversation is in flux, and maybe they can get a guy where, they give up Deebo Samuel and then they make Brandon Ayuk their one, but then they have, a deep threat in that system, right, for Kyle Shanahan, which has a lot of similarities to the Steichen system, two offenses that are very similar. I think Alec Pearson, that as their number two, maybe that could work for them. Maybe that's something that would intrigue them. Less money. You can sign Ayuk. Alec Pierce isn't going to warrant as much money as Deebo Samuel, so you don't have to dump as much money into wide receivers. Interesting concept, right? That's what I'm thinking, right? You give them Alec Pierce, a 3 for this year and a 6 for next year. Get Deebo Samuel, bring him in the building, and then when you look at the Colts wide receivers at that point, and look at what we have on the offense. I mean, Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Deebo Samuel as your utility wide receiver running back, Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, A.D. Mitchell, right? Ashton Doolin coming back, Anthony Gould and his ability and everything that he's going to be able to do in the offense. We talked about him in that Isaiah McKenzie role. So many options for the Colts at that point. Other running backs, Evan Hull, we hope has a good year. Trey Sermon. So the offense for the Colts, if they're able to pull off some crazy stuff like that, bringing in Deebo Samuel, then that's something that could really, like, we're talking about this offense being deadly the way it is, right? As long as Anthony Richardson's healthy, this offense is crazy. You throw in Deebo Samuel to the mix, take out Alec Pierce. Sorry, like, it's not personal. Take out Alec Pierce and throw in Deebo Samuel to the mix. This offense, how do you stop this offense when it's healthy? That's the question. You don't. You don't stop this offense. There'd be so many options with Steichen as a coach and as a play caller and everything that he draws up and the things that he can do offensively. It's so intriguing. This is something that, like, the more I've thought about it, the more I'm all about it. Okay, I'm all about this move. Going and getting Deebo again. It'd be basically just for 2024, 2025. Anthony Richardson's on his rookie deal. Okay, we talked about this. Anthony Richardson on a rookie deal. Let's make something happen so we can win right now. Do something crazy so we can win right now before Anthony Richardson's just completely carrying the team, right? When quarterbacks get this massive money, we're seeing it with Josh Allen right now, and we saw with Patrick Mahomes did carry the Chiefs, him and Travis Kelce in the playoffs. Like, when these quarterbacks get massive money, they're in a position where they're going to have to carry the team a bit. Before Anthony Richardson gets carry the team money, let's get what we can around him to win a championship before he has to get paid. That's what I'm trying to think here is, hey, this would be a move that pushes us into that upper echelon, right? Everything that the Texans have done this offseason, people are going to start talking about us just because we drafted A.D. Mitchell and went and got Deebo Samuel. They're going to start looking at the offense, start looking at the defense, and realizing that we're going to be a problem in 2024. So we'll see if this is something that the Colts end up doing. There's no information out there about this happening. Just sitting here thinking. Again, this is a topic that was given to me by somebody else, and I appreciate that. This is something that I've thought a lot of since that time, and something that I think the Colts maybe should think about a little bit and think about trying to go get somebody like Deebo Samuel. So I'd like to know what your opinion is of this. Of course, you let me know down in the comment section, please. And make sure you subscribe with notifications on. We're going to continue talking about more draft as the days go on and undrafted free agents. So again, make sure you have those notifications turned on. I appreciate you joining me for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.